Hey warrior, every morning you have a choice that will determine the next 24 hours of your life. Most people don't even realize they're making it. They roll out of bed, grab their phone, and let the world dictate how they feel. But there's a secret that separates those who thrive from those who merely survive. And it happens in the first few minutes after you wake up. The ancient Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal journal, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." But instead of feeling defeated, he used this awareness to prepare his mind for strength, not surrender. Right now, your brain is most moldable in those precious morning moments. Neuroscience proves that the first thoughts you think literally rewire your neural pathways, setting up automatic responses for the entire day. Yet, most people waste this golden window, scrolling through social media, absorbing other people's problems, or diving straight into stress. The Stoics discovered something revolutionary. You can program your mind for success, peace, and unbreakable confidence by speaking 10 specific truths to yourself each morning. These aren't wishful thinking or fantasy affirmations. They're reality-based declarations that align your mind with how the world actually works. What if you could wake up tomorrow morning and feel genuinely excited about the day ahead, regardless of what challenges await? What if you could face criticism, setbacks, and uncertainty with the kind of calm confidence that makes people wonder what you know that they don't? The ancient Greeks had a word, ataraxia, meaning unshakable tranquility. It's the state of being completely at peace with yourself and your place in the world, no matter what storms rage around you. This isn't something you're born with. It's something you build one morning at a time. Over the next few minutes, you're going to learn the exact words that have helped generals win battles, entrepreneurs build empires, and ordinary people transform into extraordinary versions of themselves. Each phrase is designed to target a specific weakness that keeps people stuck. Fear, comparison, lack of focus, emotional reactivity, and procrastination. But here's what separates this from everything else you've tried. These principles have been battle-tested for over 2,000 years. They worked in ancient Rome. They worked during world wars, and they'll work in your life today. The only question is whether you'll have the discipline to use them. Before we begin this transformation, I need you to do something. Hit that like button to show me you're ready to take control of your mornings. Drop a comment and tell me what your biggest morning struggle is. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to the channel because we're building an army of people who refuse to let life happen to them. And whatever you do, don't skip any part of this video. Each piece builds on the last. If this resonates with you, share it in the comments to keep it close to your heart. I control my morning. I control my day. Number 1, I am responsible for how I am responsible for how today feels. The moment you accept complete responsibility for your emotional state, everything changes. This isn't about blaming yourself for bad things that happen. It's about claiming your power to choose how you respond to whatever life throws at you. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, discovered this truth in the most horrific circumstances imaginable. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." If someone could maintain emotional control in a concentration camp, you can maintain it in your daily life. Most people live as emotional victims. Their mood depends on traffic, weather, other people's behavior, or their bank account. They wake up and immediately check their phone, letting notifications determine whether they'll feel good or bad. This is emotional slavery, and it's the reason most people feel powerless in their own lives. When you tell yourself, "I am responsible for how today feels," you're making a declaration of independence. You're saying that your happiness, peace, and confidence aren't for sale to the highest bidder. You're claiming ownership of the one thing noon can ever take away from you, your response to what happens. This doesn't mean you'll never feel disappointed, frustrated, or sad. It means you recognize these feelings as temporary visitors, not permanent residents. You understand that while you can't control what happens to you, you have complete control over what happens in you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that we suffer not from events themselves, but from our judgments about events. Change the judgment, change the suffering. This morning affirmation rewires your brain to stop looking outward for emotional stability and start looking inward for emotional strength. Start each day by placing your hand on your heart and saying these words with conviction. I am responsible for how today feels. My emotions are my choice. My peace is my decision. Today I choose strength over weakness, clarity over confusion, and hope over fear. Watch what happens when you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the author of your emotional experience. You'll discover a kind of freedom that most people never even know exists. Number 2, nothing can disturb my peace without my permission. Nothing can disturb my peace without my permission. Your peace of mind is like a fortress and you are the gatekeeper. Every morning you must decide who and what gets permission to enter your mental space. Most people leave their gates wide open, letting every criticism, worry, and negative thought march right in and set up camp. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you'll find strength." He understood that true power isn't controlling what happens around you. It's controlling what happens within you. When you declare nothing can disturb my peace without my permission, you're establishing boundaries around your inner world. You're saying that your tranquility isn't a public playground where anyone can come and create chaos. You become the security guard of your own mind. This doesn't mean you become emotionless or disconnected. It means you develop what the Stoics called the discipline of desire, the ability to remain centered regardless of external turbulence. You can acknowledge that someone said something hurtful without letting it define your day. You can recognize a setback without letting it destroy your confidence. The secret is in the pause between what happens to you and your reaction to it. There's a sacred space, a moment where you get to choose. Most people react so fast they don't even know this space exists. But when you train yourself to find this pause, you discover your superpower. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror and speak directly to yourself. Nothing can disturb my peace without my permission. I am the guardian of my inner world. Today I choose who and what gets access to my mind. My peace is not for sale, not for rent, and not up for negotiation. Watch how differently you move through the world when you realize that your peace is entirely in your hands. You become unshakable. Not because nothing bad happens, but because you've learned to protect what matters most. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I am the guardian of my own peace. Today I focus only on what I can control. Number 3. Today I focus only on what I can control. The fastest way to drive yourself insane is trying to control things that are completely outside your power. Yet every day, millions of people waste enormous amounts of mental energy worrying about other people's opinions. The weather, the economy, politics, and 1,000 other things they can't influence. Epictetus taught the fundamental Stoic principle. Some things are within our power while others are not. He divided all of existence into 2 categories: what you can control and what you can't. Master this distinction and you master your life. What can you actually control? Your effort, your attitude, your words, your actions, your reactions, and your decisions. That's it. Everything else, other people's behavior, the past, the future, natural disasters, market crashes, your boss's mood is completely outside your influence. Most people have this backwards. They spend 80% of their mental energy trying to control the uncontrollable while neglecting the things they can actually influence. They worry about what might happen next month while ignoring what they can do today. They stress about what someone might think while not focusing on who they want to become. When you wake up and declare, "Today I focus only on what I can control," you're making a strategic decision to invest your limited mental resources where they can actually make a difference. You're choosing effectiveness over anxiety, action over worry, influence over helplessness. The Greek Stoics used a powerful exercise called the circle of control. Imagine everything in your life as existing in one of 3 circles: things you control completely, things you influence partially, and things you can't control at all. Your job is to put 90% of your attention on the first circle, 10% on the second, and 0 on the third. This morning practice transforms everything. Instead of waking up overwhelmed by all the things going wrong in the world, you wake up energized by all the things you can make right in your sphere of influence. Instead of feeling powerless, you feel focused. Instead of scattered. Anxiety, you experience laser-like clarity. Stand up, look yourself in the eye and say with conviction, "Today I focus only on what I can control. I will not waste energy on things outside my power. My attention goes to my actions, my effort, and my responses. This is where my power lives. My worth is not measured by today's outcomes." Number 4. My worth is not measured by today's outcomes. Your value as a human being has absolutely nothing to do with whether you get the promotion, win the argument, or have a perfect day.
Yet most people tie their self-worth to their daily performance like a roller coaster that never stops.
High when things go well, crashing when they don't. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, advisor to emperors and one of Rome's wealthiest men, learned this lesson the hard way. When he was exiled by Emperor Caligula and later forced to commit suicide by Nero, he discovered that external achievements are temporary, but inner worth is eternal. He wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Your worth transcends any single outcome." Society programs us to measure ourselves by our productivity, our bank account, our relationship status, or our achievements. We wake up thinking we need to prove our worth through what we accomplished before bedtime. This is exhausting and ultimately destructive because it makes your self-esteem dependent on things that are partially or completely outside your control. When you tell yourself, "My worth is not measured by today's outcomes," you're breaking free from the performance trap. You're declaring that your value is inherent, not earned. You existed before today's challenges, and you'll exist after today's victories or defeats. Your essence isn't up for negotiation based on temporary circumstances. This doesn't mean you stop trying or caring about results. It means you separate your effort from your identity. You can pursue excellence without tying your self-respect to whether you achieve it. You can be disappointed by poor outcomes without being devastated by them. You can celebrate successes without depending on them for your sense of value. The ancient Stoics understood that true confidence comes from knowing who you are at your core, regardless of what happens on the surface. They called this preferred indifferent outcomes you'd prefer, but that don't define your worth. Getting the job is preferred, but not getting it doesn't make you less valuable. Every morning, remind yourself of this liberating truth. My worth is not measured by today's outcomes. I am valuable because I exist, not because of what I achieve. Today I will give my best effort while knowing that my value is not on trial. Success or failure, I remain worthy of love, respect, and dignity. Number 5, I will act, not just intend. The gap between good intentions and actual action is where most dreams go to die. Every morning, millions of people wake up with beautiful plans. They'll start that business, call that friend, begin that workout routine, write that book. But by evening, they've done nothing but think about doing something. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, "In the morning, when thou risest unwillingly, let this thought be present: I am rising to the work of a human being." He knew that intentions without action are just sophisticated forms of procrastination. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's the ability to close the gap between thinking and doing. While most people are perfecting their plans, successful people are perfecting their execution. While most people are waiting for the right moment, successful people are creating the right moment through action. When you declare, "I will act, not just intend," you're making a commitment to become a person of action rather than a person of endless preparation. You're choosing to be someone who does things imperfectly, rather than someone who plans things perfectly but never starts. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism is built on a simple premise. Virtue is action. It's not enough to know what's right. You must do what's right. It's not enough to understand wisdom. You must live wisdom. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Your morning declaration creates what psychologists call implementation intention, a specific plan that connects your goals to your behavior. Instead of saying, "I want to exercise," you say, "I will act on my health goals." Instead of "I should call my parents," you say, "I will act on my commitment to family." The moment you shift from intending to acting, everything changes. You stop being a spectator in your own life and become the main character. You stop waiting for permission and start creating opportunities. You stop hoping things will get better and start making things better. Stand up right now and make this commitment. I will act, not just intend. Today I choose action over analysis, progress over perfection, and doing over dreaming. My intentions mean nothing without my actions. Today I act. Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger. Number 6. Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger. The same fire that melts butter hardens steel. Every morning you get to decide which one you'll be when life turns up the heat. Most people see obstacles as punishments, but the wise see them as the gymnasium where character is built and strength is forged. James Stockdale, a U.S. Navy admiral who survived 7 years of torture as a prisoner of war in Vietnam, credited his survival to Stoic philosophy. He said, "You must never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end, which you can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality." He understood that challenges don't break you. They reveal what you're made of and give you the opportunity to become stronger. Right now you're facing something difficult. Maybe it's financial pressure, relationship problems, health issues, or career uncertainty. Your natural instinct might be to wish these problems away, to curse your bad luck, or to feel sorry for yourself. But what if these challenges aren't happening to you? What if they're happening for you? The ancient Stoics had a revolutionary perspective on adversity. They saw difficulties as training exercises designed by fate to develop their character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle contains within it the seeds of opportunity if you have the eyes to see it." When you tell yourself every challenge is a chance to grow stronger, you're completely reframing your relationship with difficulty. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being a student of life. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" This doesn't mean you should enjoy suffering or seek out problems. It means you recognize that struggle is the price of growth and growth is the price of a meaningful life. A muscle only gets stronger when it faces resistance. A character only develops when it faces challenges. Every morning, prepare your mind for whatever the day might bring. Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger. I welcome difficulties as opportunities to develop my character. Today's obstacles are tomorrow's strengths. I do not pray for an easier life. I pray to become a stronger person. I will not compare my journey to others. Number 7. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. Comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also the destroyer of progress, confidence, and authentic success. Every morning, millions of people wake up and immediately start measuring their lives against highlight reels they see on social media, forgetting that they're comparing their behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's carefully curated performance. The philosopher Epictetus taught how much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does, but only to what he does himself. He knew that your only meaningful competition is the person you were yesterday. Social media has turned comparison into a 24/7 addiction. You see someone's vacation photos and suddenly your life feels boring. You see someone's promotion announcement and suddenly your career feels stagnant. You see someone's relationship posts and suddenly your love life feels inadequate. But here's what you don't see: their struggles, their fears, their failures, their private moments of doubt. When you declare, "I will not compare my journey to anyone else's," you're choosing to run your own race at your own pace toward your own finish line. You're refusing to let other people's timelines dictate your self-worth. You're acknowledging that everyone has different starting points, different resources, different challenges, and different definitions of success. Your journey is unique because you are unique. Your background, your strengths, your struggles, your dreams, and your circumstances are yours alone. Trying to live someone else's path is like trying to wear someone else's shoes. It might look good from the outside, but it will never fit properly and will eventually cause you pain. The most successful and fulfilled people have learned to define success for themselves. They've stopped trying to impress people they don't even like with achievements that don't even matter to them. They've learned to celebrate others without diminishing themselves and to appreciate their own progress without needing external validation. This morning, make a commitment to authentic living. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. My path is unique, my timing is perfect, and my progress is meaningful. Today I celebrate others' successes without questioning my own worth. I'm exactly where I need to be on my unique journey. I choose discipline over motivation. This isn't about achieving massive breakthroughs every single day. It's about the compound effect of small, consistent improvements that transform ordinary days into extraordinary. Number 8. I choose discipline over motivation. Motivation is like the weather: unpredictable, temporary, and completely outside your control. Some days you wake up feeling like you can conquer the world. Other days you can barely conquer getting out of bed. But discipline is like breathing. It works whether you feel like it or not. The Roman general and Stoic philosopher Marcus Cato the Younger was known for his unwavering discipline. Even in the freezing winter, he would walk barefoot through the streets of Rome to strengthen his resolve. He understood that comfort is the enemy of greatness and that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. He proved that you don't need to feel motivated to act. You just need to be disciplined. Most people wait for motivation to strike like lightning. They think they need to feel inspired, energized, or excited before they can take action. So they wait and wait, wondering why they never make progress toward their goals. Meanwhile, disciplined people are building empires while unmotivated people are building excuses. When you tell yourself, "I choose discipline over motivation," you're making a declaration of independence from your feelings. You're saying that your actions won't be held hostage by your emotions. You're choosing to be someone who does what needs to be done, regardless of whether you feel like doing it. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger with use. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're adding weight to your character. Every time you do something when you don't want to do it, you're proving to yourself that you can be trusted to keep your own commitments. The Stoics called this the discipline of action, the ability to do what virtue requires even when it's difficult, boring, or uncomfortable. They knew that motivation comes and goes, but discipline creates the consistent action that builds extraordinary lives. Think about the most successful person you know. I guarantee they're not more motivated than you. They're more disciplined than you. They've learned to divorce their actions from their feelings and marry their behavior to their values. This morning, make this powerful commitment. I choose discipline over motivation. I will act based on my commitments, not my feelings. Today I do what I said I would do regardless of how I feel about doing it. My discipline is my superpower. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My discipline creates my destiny. Number 9. Gratitude will shape how I see the day. Your perspective is your reality, and gratitude is the lens that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. Every morning you can choose to focus on what's missing from your life or what's already present. One choice leads to misery, the other leads to abundance. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He understood that gratitude isn't about denying problems. It's about recognizing the miracles that exist alongside them. Right now, while you're listening to this, your heart is beating without you thinking about it. Your lungs are breathing without you commanding them. You have access to clean water, probably have a roof over your head, and can hear these words through technology that would seem like magic to people just a century ago. Yet most mornings we wake up thinking about what we don't have. When you declare gratitude will shape how I see the day, you're making a conscious choice to train your brain to notice abundance instead of scarcity. Neuroscience shows that gratitude literally rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways that make you naturally more optimistic, resilient, and content. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring real problems. It's about maintaining perspective. It's about remembering that even your worst day contains elements worth appreciating. It's about understanding that happiness isn't about having everything you want. It's about appreciating everything you have. The Stoics practiced what they called negative visualization, imagining losing what they currently had in order to appreciate it more deeply. They would spend time thinking about losing their health, their loved ones, or their possessions. Not to become pessimistic, but to become grateful for what they currently enjoyed. This morning practice will transform your entire day. Instead of waking up focused on your problems, you wake up focused on your blessings. Instead of feeling deprived, you feel abundant. Instead of seeing obstacles, you see opportunities for growth. Gratitude will shape how I see the day. I will notice the good that surrounds me. Today I choose abundance over scarcity, appreciation over complaint, and wonder over worry. My grateful heart creates my happy life. I will end the day better than I started. Number 10. I will end the day better than I started. Every sunrise offers you a contract. Invest this day wisely, and you'll go to bed richer in wisdom, stronger in character, and closer to the person you're meant to become mid-lives. Seneca practiced a beautiful evening ritual where he would review his day and ask himself, what wound did I heal today? What failing did I resist? Where can I show improvement? He understood that the goal wasn't perfection. It was progress. He knew that even a 1% improvement each day would compound into remarkable transformation over time. When you commit to ending the day better than you started, you're essentially turning every day into a masterclass in personal development. You wake up as version 1.0 of yourself and go to sleep as version 1.01. It might seem insignificant, but mathematically, if you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you'll be 37 times better by the end of that year. This mindset transforms how you approach everything. That difficult conversation becomes an opportunity to practice courage. That mistake becomes data for future decisions. That frustrating delay becomes a chance to practice patience. Every experience becomes raw material for growth rather than just something that happened to you. The beauty of this approach is that it makes failure impossible. Even if you have a terrible day, you can still end it better than you started by learning from what went wrong. Even if you make mistakes, you can still grow by extracting wisdom from those mistakes. Even if you fall short of your goals, you can still improve by adjusting your approach for tomorrow. This isn't about being hard on yourself or demanding perfection. It's about being intentional with your growth and recognizing that every day is a gift that shouldn't be wasted. When you consistently end each day better than you started, you create momentum that carries you toward the life you actually want to live. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today. Make them count. These 10 morning declarations aren't just words. They're a blueprint for building an unshakable life. When you start each day by claiming responsibility for your experience, protecting your peace, focusing on what you control, recognizing your inherent worth, choosing action over intention, embracing challenges, avoiding comparisons, prioritizing discipline, practicing gratitude, and committing to daily growth, you transform from someone who reacts to life into someone who creates it. The ancient Stoics understood something that modern self-help often misses. True strength isn't about positive thinking or pretending problems don't exist. It's about developing the inner resources to handle whatever life throws at you with wisdom, courage, and grace. These morning statements are your daily training program for that kind of strength. Remember, you don't have to be perfect at this. You just have to be consistent. Start with one statement that resonates most deeply with you and gradually incorporate the others. The goal isn't to become a Stoic philosopher overnight. It's to become a little more resilient, a little more intentional, and a little more in control of your own experience each day. Your mornings shape your days shape your life, and your life shapes your legacy. Make them count. If this message resonated with you, please hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment with your favorite morning declaration, and don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing content. Your future self will thank you for the investment you make in your mornings today.